In the heart of the kingdom of Ndongo, a child was born amidst the humble quarters of the enslaved. Nzinga, named for the spirit of resilience, entered the world under the watchful eyes of a struggling mother. Her birth was a quiet event, overshadowed by the ceaseless toils of the oppressed, but the stars foretold greatness. The young girl's early days were a blend of hardship and an innate curiosity that set her apart. Her keen eyes observed the world around her, soaking in every detail, especially the whispers of defiance among her people. Her mother, a woman of boundless strength, nurtured Nzinga's growing mind with tales of a free Ndongo. These stories, filled with heroes and heroines who dared to challenge the chains of oppression, planted seeds of rebellion within her young heart. Though a slave, Nzinga harbored dreams of freedom and the power to change her destiny. In her mother's embrace, she found solace in a silent vow to rise above her circumstances one day. The kingdom of Ndongo, under the oppressive rule of the colonizers, was a land steeped in suffering. Nzinga's childhood was marked by the harsh realities of enslavement. The clanking of chains, the lash of the whip, and the silent tears of the broken were daily reminders of her people's plight. Yet in the face of despair, Nzinga's spirit remained unbroken. She watched and learned, noting the strategies of the oppressors and the weaknesses in their armor. Her keen observation skills were unmatched. She saw the cracks in the fortress, both physical and metaphorical, that the colonizers had built around them. Nzinga's youthful mind was a cauldron of budding strategies and a burning desire for liberation. Each day in captivity was a lesson in endurance and the art of silent rebellion. She knew that understanding her captors was the first step towards breaking free from their grip. Her eyes were always open, and her mind always racing, plotting the path to freedom. The murmurs of discontent among the enslaved people grew louder with each passing day. Nzinga, now in her early teens, had become a silent leader among the children. She taught them the art of observation, the importance of unity, and the power of hope. One fateful night, the sparks of rebellion ignited. A small group of slaves, inspired by Nzinga's courage, attempted to break free from their captors. The uprising was swiftly crushed, but it was not in vain. It marked the beginning of a series of small rebellions that would continue to erupt across Ndongo. Nzinga, though young, was undeterred by the failure. She saw it as a learning experience, a step closer to the ultimate goal of freedom. The fire within her burned brighter. Fueled by the shared determination of her people, the colonizers began to sense the growing unrest among their slaves. They tightened their grip, implementing harsher punishments and stricter controls. But the spirit of rebellion could not be extinguished. Nzinga and her comrades adapted, becoming more cunning in their defiance. They learned to communicate in code, to hide their plans in plain sight, and to strike when least expected. The captors lamented their inability to break the will of the Ndongo people. Nzinga's name became a symbol of hope and resistance. The young girl, now a teenager, was no longer just an observer. She was a strategist, a leader in the making. The colonizers underestimated her, viewing her as just another slave. But Nzinga was far from ordinary. She was the storm brewing on the horizon, ready to unleash her fury when the time was right. As Nzinga grew, so did the resistance movement. She began to organize secret meetings, gathering those who were willing to fight for their freedom. Her knowledge of the captors' routines and weaknesses became invaluable. She taught her people to use their surroundings to their advantage, turning the dense forests and rugged terrain of Ndongo into their allies. The resistance grew bolder, launching small-scale attacks on their oppressors. These victories, though minor, were symbolic. They proved that the colonizers were not invincible. Nzinga's leadership was instrumental in these successes. Her ability to inspire and unite her people set her apart. She was becoming more than a leader. She was a beacon of hope for the enslaved. Nzinga knew that to achieve true freedom, they needed allies. She began to reach out to neighboring tribes, some of whom had also suffered under the colonizers' rule. Her diplomatic skills were as sharp as her strategic mind. She negotiated alliances, promising mutual support in the fight against their common enemy. These alliances were crucial. They brought much-needed resources and manpower to the resistance. Nzinga's reputation as a fierce and wise leader spread beyond Ndongo. She was no longer just a local hero. She was becoming a figure of regional significance. The alliances strengthened the resistance, setting the stage for a larger, more coordinated rebellion. Nzinga immersed herself in the art of war. She studied the tactics of the colonizers, learning their strengths and weaknesses. She trained her people in guerrilla warfare, teaching them to strike swiftly and retreat into the shadows. Her strategies were unconventional but effective. The resistance became a formidable force, capable of inflicting significant damage on their oppressors. Nzinga's knowledge of the land gave her an advantage. She knew the hidden paths, the safe havens, and the places where they could ambush their enemies. The colonizers were unprepared for this new kind of warfare. They were used to facing armies in open battle, not elusive rebels who struck from the shadows and vanished without a trace. The resistance reached a turning point when they successfully captured a key colonial outpost. This victory was more than just a tactical gain. It was a psychological blow to the colonizers. It showed that the resistance was capable of challenging their authority. The news of the victory spread quickly, boosting the morale of the enslaved and inspiring more people to join the fight. Nzinga's leadership was praised, and her vision of a free Ndongo seemed more attainable than ever. The resistance continued to grow in strength and numbers. Each victory brought them closer to their ultimate goal. Nzinga knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but she was ready to face any challenge that came her way. With success came new challenges. Not everyone within the resistance was loyal. Nzinga faced betrayal from within her ranks. A trusted ally turned against her, revealing sensitive information to the colonizers. The betrayal led to a devastating ambush, resulting in significant losses for the resistance. Nzinga was heartbroken but resolute. She knew that trust was a precious commodity in times of war. She tightened security, ensuring that only the most loyal and trustworthy individuals had access to critical information. The betrayal was a harsh lesson, but it made the resistance stronger and more vigilant. In the aftermath of the betrayal, Nzinga devised a new strategy. She implemented a system of decentralized command, ensuring that no single person had all the information. This made it harder for the colonizers to infiltrate and disrupt their operations. Nzinga's innovative approach paid off as the resistance became more resilient and adaptable. The colonizers struggled to keep up with Nzinga's ever-evolving tactics. She kept them guessing, never allowing them to anticipate her next move. The resistance's ability to adapt quickly became one of their greatest strengths. Nzinga's leadership was a testament to her intelligence and determination. One of the most significant battles of the resistance took place in the dense forests of Ndongo. Nzinga led her forces in a carefully orchestrated ambush, using the terrain to their advantage. The colonizers, unfamiliar with the forest, were at a severe disadvantage. The resistance inflicted heavy casualties, forcing the enemy to retreat. The battle was a turning point in the war. It demonstrated Nzinga's strategic brilliance and the effectiveness of guerrilla warfare. The victory boosted the morale of the resistance and further weakened the colonizers' grip on Ndongo. Nzinga's name became synonymous with victory and freedom. The fight for freedom came at a cost. The resistance suffered losses, and Nzinga mourned the fallen warriors who had given their lives for the cause. She understood that freedom was not free. It required sacrifice and unwavering commitment. Nzinga honored the memory of the fallen by continuing the fight with even greater determination. The colonizers, desperate to maintain control, resorted to brutal tactics. They targeted villages, hoping to break the spirit of the resistance. But Nzinga's leadership ensured that the resistance remained united and resilient. The price of freedom was high, but Nzinga and her people were willing to pay it. Nzinga understood the importance of wisdom and experience. She formed a council of elders, comprised of respected leaders from various tribes. The council provided guidance and support, helping Nzinga make informed decisions about the resistance's strategy. The council's diverse perspectives enriched Nzinga's leadership. They shared stories of past struggles and victories, offering lessons that could be applied to the current fight. Nzinga valued their counsel, knowing that their collective wisdom was a powerful tool in the battle for freedom. The resistance launched a daring siege on one of the colonizers' strongholds. Nzinga led the assault, coordinating a multi-pronged attack that caught the enemy off guard. The siege was brutal and intense, but the resistance's determination prevailed. The capture of the stronghold was a significant victory. It provided the resistance with much-needed supplies and a strategic advantage. Nzinga's leadership during the siege was exemplary, showcasing her ability to inspire and lead her people to victory. The blockade's success further solidified Nzinga's reputation as a formidable leader. Communication was crucial for the resistance. Nzinga relied on a network of messengers who traveled across Ndongo, delivering messages and coordinating efforts. These messengers were swift and discreet, ensuring the resistance remained connected and informed. One such messenger was a young boy named Kofi. Despite his youth, Kofi was brave and resourceful. He carried messages through dangerous territory, evading capture by the colonizers. Kofi's dedication and courage made him a beloved figure within the resistance. Nzinga often praised him, knowing that the success of their operations depended on messengers like Kofi. Nzinga established a hidden village deep within the forests, serving as a safe haven for the resistance. The village was well hidden and fortified, providing a secure base for planning and regrouping. It became a symbol of hope and resilience, a place where the resistance could rest and recover. The hidden village was a testament to Nzinga's foresight and strategic thinking. It allowed the resistance to operate with greater freedom and flexibility. The village's existence was a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few. It was a sanctuary in the midst of war, a place where Nzinga's vision of freedom could flourish. Nzinga established training grounds within the hidden village, where new recruits were trained in the art of war. She oversaw the training, ensuring that each warrior was prepared for the challenges ahead. The training grounds became a place of transformation, where ordinary men and women became skilled fighters. Nzinga's emphasis on training and discipline paid off. The resistance's fighters became more effective and coordinated, capable of taking on the colonizers with confidence. The training grounds were a crucible of strength and resilience, shaping the future leaders of Ndongo. The resistance faced a formidable challenge in crossing a river to reach a key target. Nzinga devised a plan to construct makeshift rafts and bridges, allowing her forces to cross undetected. The river crossing was a daring and risky operation, but Nzinga's leadership ensured its success. The successful crossing was a testament to Nzinga's ingenuity and determination. It demonstrated her ability to overcome obstacles and adapt to changing circumstances. The river crossing became a legendary tale within the resistance, symbolizing their resolve and resourcefulness. Nzinga led a carefully planned ambush on a column of enemy soldiers. Using the element of surprise, the resistance inflicted heavy casualties and captured valuable supplies. The ambush was a textbook example of guerrilla warfare, showcasing Nzinga's tactical brilliance. The victory boosted the morale of the resistance and further weakened the colonizers' hold on Ndongo. Nzinga's ability to execute complex operations with precision solidified her reputation as a master strategist. The ambush was a turning point in the war, demonstrating the effectiveness of Nzinga's leadership. Nzinga initiated negotiations with a rival kingdom, seeking to ally against the colonizers. The negotiations were delicate, requiring diplomacy and tact. Nzinga's skill as a negotiator was evident, as she navigated the complexities of interkingdom politics. The alliance was eventually secured, bringing new allies and resources to the resistance. The negotiation was a significant achievement, showcasing Nzinga's ability to build bridges and unite disparate groups. The alliance strengthened the resistance, bringing them closer to their goal of liberation. The resistance faced another betrayal, this time from a member of the newly formed alliance. The betrayal led to a critical setback, but Nzinga's leadership ensured that the resistance recovered quickly. She addressed the betrayal with firmness and resolve, reinforcing the importance of loyalty and trust. Nzinga's ability to navigate the complexities of alliances and betrayals demonstrated her political acumen. She learned from each experience, becoming more adept at managing the intricate web of relationships that defined the resistance. The betrayal was a reminder of the challenges they faced, but it also strengthened Nzinga's resolve to achieve victory. Amidst the chaos of war, Nzinga ensured that the resistance remained self-sufficient. She organized the harvest of crops within the hidden village, providing food and sustenance for her people. The harvest was a symbol of resilience, a reminder that life continued even in conflict. Nzinga's emphasis on self-sufficiency was crucial to the resistance's survival. The harvest provided a sense of normalcy and stability, reinforcing the community's bond. Nzinga's leadership extended beyond the battlefield, encompassing every aspect of life within the resistance. The school became a beacon of hope, providing education and enlightenment amidst the darkness of war. Nzinga's support for the school underscored her belief in the power of knowledge to transform lives. The scholar's teachings enriched the community, preparing the next generation for the challenges ahead. A fierce storm swept through the hidden village, causing destruction and hardship. Nzinga led the recovery efforts, organizing the community to rebuild and repair the damage. The storm was a test of their resilience, but Nzinga's leadership ensured that they emerged stronger. The storm was a reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the need for preparedness. Nzinga's ability to lead in times of crisis was evident as she guided her people through the challenges with courage and determination. The recovery efforts reinforced the community's bond, strengthening their resolve to continue the fight. The resistance continued to grow as new recruits joined their ranks. Nzinga personally welcomed the new members, ensuring they were integrated into the community and trained for battle. The influx of new recruits brought fresh energy and perspectives to the resistance. Nzinga's ability to inspire and motivate new recruits was a testament to her leadership. She recognized the importance of building a cohesive and united force, where every member felt valued and included. The new recruits were a symbol of the resistance's growing strength and influence. The resistance, under Nzinga's command, prepared for a daring ambush at dawn. Nzinga's spies had provided intelligence about an enemy supply convoy traveling through a narrow pass. She knew this was an opportunity they could not afford to miss. The fighters took their positions in the dense underbrush, their weapons ready and their hearts steeled for battle. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, the convoy entered the pass. Nzinga signaled her warriors, and the ambush was sprung. The colonizers were caught off guard, unable to defend themselves against the sudden onslaught. The resistance claimed a decisive victory, capturing supplies that would sustain them for months. Nzinga's brilliant tactics once again proved her mettle as a leader. Among the captured was a high-ranking officer of the colonizers. Nzinga ordered that he be brought to the hidden village. She knew that he could provide valuable information, and she intended to use every means at her disposal to extract it. The officer, defiant at first, was gradually worn down by the resilience and discipline of the resistance. Nzinga used her knowledge of the enemy's language to communicate directly with the prisoner. Through careful negotiation and psychological tactics, she gained critical intelligence about the enemy's future plans. This information would prove vital in the resistance's next major operation. Nzinga convened a council meeting to discuss the newfound intelligence. The elders debated the best course of action, weighing the risks and benefits of various strategies. Nzinga listened intently, valuing the wisdom of her advisors, but ultimately knowing that the final decision rested with her. After hours of deliberation, Nzinga announced her plan, a coordinated strike on the enemy's central garrison. It was a bold move, but one that could potentially cripple the colonizers' hold on Ndongo. The council, though apprehensive, trusted Nzinga's judgment and pledged their full support. Nzinga's leadership was evident in every aspect of the preparation. She inspired confidence and determination in her people, reminding them that their fight was just and that victory was within their grasp. The resistance was more united than ever, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Under the cover of darkness, Nzinga led her forces on a night march toward the enemy garrison. The journey was arduous, but the warriors were driven by their leader's unwavering resolve. Nzinga's knowledge of the terrain ensured that they avoided detection, moving swiftly and silently through the night. The march tested their endurance and discipline, but Nzinga's presence kept their spirits high. She was not just a leader, she was a comrade, sharing in their hardships and inspiring them with her courage. The resistance reached the outskirts of the garrison just before dawn, ready to strike. As the first rays of sunlight illuminated the garrison, Nzinga gave the signal to begin the siege. The resistance launched a coordinated assault, targeting key positions and cutting off the enemy's escape routes. The element of surprise worked in their favor, and the colonizers found themselves overwhelmed. The battle was fierce, but Nzinga's strategy was impeccable. Her warriors fought with unmatched ferocity, driven by the dream of freedom. The resistance gained ground steadily, pushing the colonizers back and seizing control of the garrison. Nzinga's leadership turned the tide of the battle, securing a crucial victory. The garrison was now in the hands of the resistance, Nzinga's forces secured the area, tending to the wounded and fortifying their new stronghold. The victory was a significant blow to the colonizers, disrupting their control and boosting the morale of the resistance. Nzinga addressed her warriors, acknowledging their bravery and sacrifice. She reminded them that the fight was not over, but this victory was a step closer to their ultimate goal. The resistance celebrated their triumph, but Nzinga's mind was already on the next challenge. Nzinga knew that holding the garrison was as important as capturing it. She began consolidating their position, strengthening the defenses, and establishing supply lines. The resistance worked tirelessly, transforming the garrison into a formidable fortress that could withstand future attacks. Nzinga also focused on building alliances, reaching out to neighboring tribes and kingdoms. Her diplomatic efforts bore fruit as more allies joined the cause, emboldened by the resistance's recent success. Nzinga's vision of a united front against the colonizers was becoming a reality. The colonizers, reeling from their defeat, prepared for retaliation. Nzinga anticipated their move and devised a plan to counter their offensive. She instructed her spies to gather intelligence on the enemy's movements, ensuring that the resistance remained one step ahead. The colonizers launched a massive assault, hoping to reclaim the garrison. Nzinga's forces, fortified and prepared, repelled the attack with remarkable resilience. The battle was intense, but the resistance held their ground, inflicting heavy losses on the enemy. Nzinga's leadership once again proved crucial in securing another victory. With the colonizers weakened, Nzinga saw an opportunity to strike a decisive blow. She rallied her forces and prepared for a final offensive, aimed at liberating Dongo entirely. Nzinga's vision of freedom was within reach, and she was determined to see it realized. The resistance launched a series of coordinated attacks across the kingdom, targeting the remaining colonial strongholds. Nzinga's strategy was flawless, and her warriors fought with unwavering determination. The colonizers, unable to withstand the onslaught, began to retreat, signaling the beginning of the end of their rule. The day of liberation finally arrived. Nzinga and her forces entered the capital, greeted by jubilant crowds who hailed her as a hero. The colonizers had been driven out, and Dongo was free at last. Nzinga's dream had become a reality thanks to her indomitable spirit and unyielding leadership. Nzinga declared the establishment of a new dynasty, one that would ensure the prosperity and freedom of her people. She vowed to govern with wisdom and compassion, honoring the sacrifices made during the struggle. Nzinga's legacy was cemented as a warrior queen who led her people to freedom and forged a path for future generations. The kingdom of Ndongo, under Nzinga's rule, entered a period of peace and rebuilding. The scars of war remained, but so did the resilience and unity that Nzinga had inspired. The story of Nzinga's rise from slavery to sovereignty became a legend, a testament to the power of determination and the unbreakable spirit of a people united in their quest for freedom.